ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थ
नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थ
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरौ
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीम्
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीम्
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
तत्त्वविवेक प्रकरणे त्रयोविंशति श्लोकः 23rd श्लोक. Let us read from here. You can repeat after me. बुद्धि कर्मेन्द्रिय प्राण पंचकैर्मनसा धिया
बुद्धि कर्मेन्द्रिय प्राण पंचकैर्मनसा धिया
शरीरं सप्तदशभिः
शरीरं सप्तदशभिः
सूक्ष्मतल्लिङ्गमुच्यते।
सूक्ष्मतल्लिङ्गमुच्यते।
प्राज्ञस्तत्राभिमानेन
तैजसत्वं प्रपद्यते।
तैजसत्वं प्रपद्यते।
हिरण्यगर्भतामीशः
हिरण्यगर्भतामीशः
तयोर्यष्टिसमष्टिता।
तयोर्यष्टिसमष्टिता।
समष्टिरेष सर्वेषाम्
समष्टिरेष सर्वेषाम्
स्वात्मतादात्म्यवेदनात्
आत्मतादात्म्यवेदनात्
तदभावात् ततोऽन्येतु
तदभावात् ततोऽन्येतु
तप्यन्ते व्यष्टिसंज्ञया
गत्यन्ते व्यष्टिसंज्ञया.
We have seen that Linga Shariram, otherwise called Sukshma Shariram, Sukshmatvat Sukshma Shariram. Lingayate anena iti Linga Shariram. What? Chaitanyam. That is why it's called Linga Shariram. Because of Linga Shariram, Sukshma Shariram only, this Stula Shariram, this Jada Stula Shariram becomes enlivened, it gets life, becomes conscious. It doesn't have consciousness of itself because of Sukshma Shariram. It means, is that consciousness is Sukshma Shariram? No. Sukshma Shariram only as the Antakaranam, Buddhi Karmendriya Prana Panchake Manasadhiya Saptadasha Kalabhihi Yat Tishtati Tatu Sukshma Shariram Putra Patyate Tattva Bodhaha. So, Linga Shariram, in which Antakaranam is there. In the Antakaranam, consciousness manifests through Antakaranam. It requires manifesting media. In Stula Shariram also, Chaitanyam is there, but because of the absence of Sukshma Shariram, Stula Shariram is dead. That's what we call death. So, consciousness being all pervading, Sarvagataha, Sarvavyapi, Nityaha, Nityas Sarvagatastanuhu, Achaloyam Sanatanaha, Gitayam Uttam Bhagavata. So, consciousness being everywhere, it is there in Stula Shriram also, but in the body of the dead person, his consciousness is there. Yes, it is there, but because of the absence of Linga Shariram, it is not active, doesn't have life, it is not enlivened. So therefore, in the Antakaranam, which is in the Sukshma Shariram, through which the consciousness manifests. So therefore, it's called Linga Shariram. Now that Linga Shariram, otherwise called Sukshma Shariram, Ishvaraha, that is what we say, Ishvaraha Samashtihi. Ishvaraha Samashtihi Swatma Tadatmya Vedanat. We saw this sloka in the last class. Ishvara, when looked upon as the consciousness with regard to the Samashti Sukshma Shariram, consciousness manifesting through Samashti Sukshma Shariram. Samashti Sukshma Sharira Abhimani. It gets the name Hiranyagarbha. Ishaha or Ishvaraha is a name given to Brahma. Ishvara is both a technical name as well as a name given to Brahma Chaitanyam. That Brahma Chaitanyam, consciousness, manifesting through the Samashti Sukshma Shariram. That is called Hiranyagarbha. So therefore, Ishvara, identified with Samashti Sukshma Shariram, called Hiranyagarbha. This is at the Samashti level. Samashtihi Ishaha Sarvesham Swatma Tadatmya Vedana. Tadvat, Jivaha identified with individual Sukshma Shariram is called Tejasaha. Now, Sukshma Shariram, Sukshma Sharirasya Utpattihi Abhavat. Sukshma Shariram has been created. Now, is this enough? Sukshma Shariram alone is enough? No. Sukshma Shariram of the individual, of the Jivas, it is created. It has formed. Saptadasha Kaladi. Now, how the Jiva will experience the Karma Pala? This has been created for the experience of Karma Pala. Karma, what the Jivas have done before in the previous Janma or in the previous Kalpa, that has to be exhausted. Therefore, it requires a Shariram. Sukma Shariram is there. That is a Karanam for Karna Shariram is there. That is a Karanam for Sukshma Shariram. Now, Sukshma Shariram has been created. Is this Sukshma Shariram alone enough for the experience of Karma Pala Bhogaya? No. For Karma Pala Bhoga, Sukshma Shariram alone is not enough. Therefore, the next stage of creation, that is, a place of experience of Karma Pala is required for Jiva. Sukshma Shariram is Bhoga Sadhanam. Karma Pala Anubhava, Karma Pala experience in the form of Sukha and Dukkha. For that, a place of experience, Bhoga Ayatanam, is required. Jiva requires Bhoga Ayatanam as well as the world, the Jagat, consisting of objects and things. And therefore, the Bhagavan, he does these. He executes whatever required for the Karma Pala Anubhava of the Jiva. Now, therefore, what happens is, all the Pancha Mahabhuta up to this stage, which are Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutani, all at the Sukshma level, Sukshma Shariram, Hiranyagarbha, the total level also it is Sukshma, and Pancha Mahabhutani also Sukshma, that alone has given rise to Karmendriyani, Jnanendriyani, etc. Pancha Pranadeyaha, Buddhihi, Aha, fine. At the individual level, at the total level. Now, these Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutani will become or have to become gross, as have to become stula, because at the level of Sukshma Shariram, no Anubhava is possible, no contact possible, no contact of the Sukshma Shariram with the Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutani not possible. Therefore, requires Stula Shariram. Therefore, the Pancha Mahabhutani have to become Stula, gross. Therefore, the Pancha Mahabhutani, Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutani, otherwise called Pancha Tattvani, Pancha Tanmatra, they will become gross by a process called Panchikaranam, the compounding process, grossification process, what we saw in Tattva Bodha. Each element, Sukshma element, subtle element, is in its Tanmatra. Now, to become gross, to become Stula, what will happen is each element has to have the nature of other elements with one's own nature predominantly. Each element should have the nature of the other elements with its own elements that is dominating, predominance. So that process, that combination process is called Panchikaranam. So therefore, each element, what will happen now is, it will become Pancha Pancha. Each element will divide itself into 5, has to become Pancha. Akasha has to become Pancha, Vayu has to become Pancha, Agni has to become Pancha, Apaha, Prithvi, iti. All the 5 elements have to become Pancha Pancha. That is why it's called Prapancha. This Prapancha, made of Pancha Pancha. So that is going to be the topic now. Next topic is Stula Sharira Srishtihi, creation of Stula Shariram. We will read shloka number 26. Tadbhogaya punarbhogya bhogaya tana janmane. One line.
तद्भोगाय पुनर्भोग्य भोगाय तनजन्मने.
Because we cannot split Tadbhogaya punarbhogya, because it continues, it's a compound. Bhogya bhogaya tana janmane, one word, compound. Therefore, we cannot split in between. Panchi karoti bhagavan
पञ्चीकरोति भगवान्
pratyekam viyadadhikam.
प्रत्येकं यदाधिकम्.
Bhagavan, very important word, Bhagavan. Kriyapadam is Panchi karoti. Bhagavan Panchi karoti. Bhoga yatana janmane. Punaha. Again, Bhogya Bhoga yatana janmane. Bhogya Bhoga yatana janmane. Bhagavan Panchi karoti. That is Bhogya. Tadbhogaya. Tadbhogaya. Bhogya Bhoga yatana janmane. Bhagavan Punaha Panchi karoti. Tadbhogaya. For the Bhoga, for the sake of the Bhoga of them, tad referring to Jiva. Jivanam Bhogaya. Jivanam Karmapala Bhogaya. The Jiva has to exhaust its Karmapala. Therefore, Jiva. So, Jivanam, Tesham, Jivanam Karmapala Bhogaya. Bhagavan, Ishvaraha, Paramatma, Bhogya Bhogayatana Janmane Panchi, and sense objects. Then only there will be experience. Now, sense objects Punarbhogya Bhogayatana Janmane. So Bhoga is experience. Bhogya is the object of experience. Bhogya Padartha. Bhuj, from the Bhuj Dhatu, Bhogya is derived. So objects of experience is Bhogya. Bhoga is experience. Bhoga Ayatanam. Bhoga Ayatanam is the place of experience. Tenement. Bhogayatam takes place. Bhoga takes place in a tenement, in a house. House is called Bhogayatanam. Ayatanam, a place. Therefore, Bhogayatana, Bhogya, Bhogayatana, Janmane. For both Bhogya and Bhogayatana, Panchi Karoti, Tad Bhogaya, Jivasya Bhogaya, Jivanam Bhogaya, for the sake of the enjoyment. Enjoyment means for both Sukha and Dukkha, Karmapala. For the sake of enjoyment of the Karmapala of the Jivas, Tad Bhogaya, Jivanam Bhogaya, Jivanam Bhogaya, this Bhogya as well as Bhoga Ayatana, both are required. Objects of experience, that is Vishayaha, Padarthaha required, and place of experience also required. Bhoga Ayatana. Already Sukshma Shariram is which are the Bhoga Sadhana. Sukshma Shariram is Bhoga Sadhana. If you remember Tattvabodha definition, Stula Shariram Kim Panchikrita Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam Sat Karmajanyam Sukhadukkadi Bhogayatanam. So Stula Shariram is Bhogayatanam, the place of experience. You require an abode of experience. It's Bhoga Ayatanam. And that is Stula Shariram. That is required for Bhoga, for Anubhava. And Sukshma Shariram is Apanchikrita Panchamahabodhaye Kritam Sat Karmajanyam Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Sadhanam. The sadhanam, the means of experience. You require means of experience, that is Sukshma Shariram. In the Sukshma Shariram, it is there, all the means of experience, Jnana Indriyani, Karma Indriyani, etc. So, Bhoga Sadhanam, that is Sukshma Shariram, already being created. Now we need Bhoga Sadhanam and also Bhogya Padartha. That is what Ishvara does. How? By Panchikaranam. For the sake of the Jivas, for the sake of the experience of Karmapala of the Jivas, Tad Bhogaya, Bhagavan, Ishvaraha, Punaha, again. This is the next stage. Therefore, again, he does continues the Srishti. That is successive stage of the Srishti. That is for the Bhogya Bhogayatana Janmane. Janma for the birth, for the creation. Utpatti ityartha Janmane. Bhagavan Panchikaroti. Bhogya Bhogayatana Janmane. So Bhogya Bhogayatana. Tad Bhogaya Jivanam Bhoya Jivasya Bhogaya. It is Tat Purusha Samasa. Bhogya Bhogayatana Janmane. Bhogaya Ayatanam Bhogayatanam. The Ayatanam, the tenement, the place of experience. Bhoga. Bhogayatanam. Bhogaya Ayatanam. Chaturthi Tat Purusha Samasa. Now, Bhogyasya Bhogayatanam. Bhogyasya Bhogayatanam. That is Shashti Tat Purusha Samasa. Bhogyasya Bhogayatanam. Bhogya Bhogayatanam. Bhogya Bhogayatanasya Janma, the birth. And in Chaturthi Bhakti. Utpattaye, for the creation of Bhogya Bhogayatanam. Bhogayatanam is Bhogaya Ayatanam. Then Bhogyasya Bhogayatanam, Bhogya Bhogayatanam. Therefore, Tasya Janmane Utpattehe Ishvaraha Punaha Panchi Karoti. Ishvara does what does he do? Panchi Karoti. He makes each one fivefold. Pratyekam Panchi Karoti. The grossification process is called Panchikaranam. Therefore, Ishvaraha Panchikaranam Karoti. That is separate text written by Sureshwaracharya. Panchikaranam. That is also a Prakana Grantha is this topic. But here, as well as in Tattvabodha, just briefly it is given. So, Apanchatmakam Panchatmakam Karoti Ishvaraha. In the Sukshma Shariram, Sukshma Sadhanani, Indriyani, Bhoga Sadhanani are there. With that, perception is not possible. Anubhava is not possible. So, therefore, since Stula Shariram is required, therefore, Bhagavan Panchi Karoti. That is the need for Panchikaranam. Now, this Panchikaranam process, we say it is done by Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan is important. But the Sankhya Darshanam, which is propounded by Kapila, they don't accept Bhagavan Panchikaroti. They don't accept Bhagavan because it is Nirishvara Sankhya. Sankhya don't accept Ishvara. Nirishvara Sankhya, Seshvara Sankhya. Seshvara Sankhya is called Yoga Darshanam. Patanjali Yoga Sutrani, that is Yoga Darshanam, that is Seshvara Sankhya. They accept Ishvara, but it's parallel, it's close Darshanam, Sankhya Yoga, they go together. Similarly, Nyaya Vaishika, they go together. Similarly, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa, that is by Jaimini Sutrani. And Vedanta and Uttara Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa, Pradhana Grantha is Brahma Sutra by Vyasacharya. So these For all the six darshana, the important texts are there. As for Uttara Mimamsa Brahma Sutra, as for Purva Mimamsa Jaimini Sutrani. Similarly, for Sankhya, here Sankhya Sutrani, and it is purported by Kapila, and it is Nirishwara Sankhya. They don't accept Ishvara. The word Bhagavan they don't accept. Therefore, for them, the shloka is without Bhagavan only. Bhagavan they cannot accept. Then you may ask how this Panchikaranam, how the creation happens. They say the disturbance happens in the three gunas because of agitation, because of disturbance. It disturbs the equilibrium state of the three gunas, and the creation begins, creation starts. So therefore, it doesn't require Bhagavan. Therefore, only here the author Vidyaranya Muni intelligently used the word Bhagavan to distinguish Sankhya Darshanam from Vedanta Darshanam. That is why he used the word Bhagavan. That is the importance of Bhagavan. Sankhya, they don't accept Bhagavan because karma of the jiva, that is the hetu for the creation, that create disturbance in the equilibrium. Therefore, creation begins. Karma is jadam. How can karma itself can initiate creation? How can karma itself will bless the jiva with karma pala? Because karma is jadam. In Upadeshasara, the beginning as well, Ramana Maharishi, he said very beautifully, Karturagnyaya prapyate palam. Karma kim param, karmata jadam. Karma kim param bhavati? Na. Is karma the param? No. Karma is jadam. Kartuhu agnyaya palam. Kartuhu is Ishvara. Karma pala data. Kartuhu agnyaya. The same word agnya also here we saw the author used. Ishvara agnyaya. Ishvara sankalpena. Palam bhavati. Ishvara kartaragnyaya. Karma is done by the jiva. Then that particular jiva who has done the karma will gain a particular karma palam. There are so many jivas. There is no confusion in distributing the karma pala to the respective jiva. It is done. Therefore, it requires an intelligent being. Then requires an intelligent being or intelligence to perform this, to execute the distribution of karma palas to the jivas. Karma itself, jadam, it cannot itself be the cause for the karma pala distribution or for the creation. Cannot be. It is jadam, jadatvat. We have never seen a rock itself creating something jada. A rock is a jada. It doesn't do any creation activity. We don't see any creation. We don't see any movement in the rock. It is jada. It cannot initiate by itself anything. A rock can be lifted, but rock cannot lift anything. But therefore, Sankhya, they don't accept Ishvara. But since we accept Ishvara, Vedantins, therefore here we use the word Bhagavan. Without Bhagavan, this is not possible. That is why Ishvara is important. So Vedantins accept Ishvara. Even the Advaita Vedantins, even though they talk about Advaita, but they don't dismiss Ishvara. Ishvara is required. The intelligent principle, the intelligence, there is intelligence behind the creation, without which this is not possible. The order is not possible. There is a niyati in the order. There is a harmony in the order. That is not possible. So niyati implies intelligence. The order implies the intelligence behind the creation. Therefore, Bhagavan Panchi Karoti. So, therefore, Since intelligence or intelligent principle conscious being is required to put things together, how things are put together intelligently, that requires intelligent being behind that. That performs. That is called Ishvara, Bhagavan. So therefore, Bhagavan Panchikaroti. Ishvaraha Panchikaroti. Pratyekam Vyadadikam. Pratyekam. Ekam Ekam Prati. Each one of them. Panchikaroti. Makes into fivefold. Makes into five. What each one of them? Vyadadikam. Vyat means Akasha. So Akasha Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. Adipada, we can bring all the four. Vyat is Akasha. So Pancha Mahabhutani. Pratyekam, ekam prati panchikaroti. So therefore, Ishvaraha Panchikaranam Panchikaroti. Panchikaranam. What is Panchikaram? That the author is going to tell in the next shloka. Now we will read the Tika. Evam Linga Shariram Tat Upadikau Taijasa Iranya Garbocha Darshagitva Stula Shariradi Utpatti Siddhaye Panchikaranam Nirupayatum Aha Panchamaha Bhutanam Srishtihi Uttam Purvam Purme Uttam. Now Idanim Sukshma Bhutani Utpanna Sukshma Bhutani Tena Bhogaha Nasidyati. Therefore, Evam Linga Shariram, that is Sukshma Shariram, Tat Upadikau. Linga Shariram is a Upadi for whom? Taijasa Iranya Garbau, Taijasa at the Vyashti level, Vyashti Drishtya, Linga Sharira, Vyashti Drishtya, Vyashti Upadi Drishtya, Vyashti Upadi Drishtya, Upadi being Linga Shariram, Drishtya, the Chaitanyam, Atma is called Taijasa. The same thing at the level of total, it is called Iranyagarbha. Therefore, Taijasa Iranyagarbhau Upadikau. Taijasa is an Upadika. Taijasa is an Upadi. Taijasa is the consciousness reflected in the Upadi, and Upadi being Linga Shariram. Similarly, Iranyagarbha is the Chaitanyam, Brahma Chaitanyam, which is for which the Upadi is Linga Shariram, Samashti Linga Shariram, Sukshma Shariram. Cha Darshagitva, having shown where in the previous shloka, Purvam Uttam. Idanim, Stula Shariradi Utpatti Siddhaye, for the Stula Shariradi, for accomplishing the creation of the Stula Shariram. Why Stula Shariram is required? Because we need Bhoga Ayatanam, the place of experience. Therefore, Panchikaranam Nirupayitum, to establish Panchikaranam Aha. Here, Grantakaraha Aha. What? Tadbhogayeti, Tadbhogaya iti. The shloka Tadbhogaya begins with Tadbhogaya. The author says, now here, Bhagavan Aishwaryadi Guna Shatka Sampannaha Parameshwaraha Punaha api Tadbhogaya Tesham Jivanam Bhogaya eva Bhogya Bhogaya Tana Jadmane Bhogyasya Annapanadehe Bhogaya Tanasya Jarayuadi Chaturvida Sharira Jatasya Cha Janmane Utpattaye Yadadikam Akashadi Panchabhutakam Pratyekam Ekam Pratyekam Panchikaroti Panchatmakam Sampadyamaram Karoti. Bhagavan is there in this shloka. So the author interprets Bhagavan is Aishwaryadi Gunashatka Sampannaha. Who is called Bhagavan? Bhagaha Asya Asti iti Bhagavan. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Dhiryasya Yashashashriyaha Jnana Vairagyoschaiva Shadna Bhaga iti Rana. This is shloka from Vishnu Puranam. Ishvara, It's called Bhagavan. Why? Because Bhagaha Asya Asti. Yes, Bhaga. The one who has Dhanam is called Dhanavan. The one who has Balam is called Balavan. The one who has Bhaga is called Bhagavan. So therefore, Bhaga, sixfold virtues. In sixfold virtues in complete measure. Overlordship, Aishwarya, then Virya, the strength, then the fame, the glory, then Jnanam, Vairagyam, knowledge, everything is there in sixfold measure in whom that person is called Bhagavan, Ishvaraha. Therefore, Aishwaryadi, Aishwarya, etc. This six gunas, Sampannaha, endowed with the six gunas. So, Aishwaryadi Guna Shatka Sampannaha, referring to Bhagavan. It is a description of the word Bhagavan. Is Parameshwaraha, Ishvaraha, Punah Punaha, again and again. Api tad bogaya, tasya bogaya, kesham bogaya, jivanam bogaya, kesham jivanam. For the jiva, which they are at the level of sukshma. Therefore, tesham bogaya, bogaya eva, bogya bogayatana janmane. The word bogya is explained. Bogyasya, annapana dehe, annapanadi. Jiva requires annam, panam, without which it cannot survive. That is sense objects. The Jagat. Jagat is required for interaction, for survival, Annapanadi. So, therefore, Bhogyasya, Annapanadehe, Bhoga Ayatanasya. Bhoga Ayatanam, the place of the residence for experience. Residence of experience. That is in the form of Jarayujadi Chaturvida Sharira Jatasya, the fourfold Sharira. Jarayuja, Jarayujadi Chaturvida Sharirasya, the fourfold Shariram. What are that fourfold Shariram? The author will say later, Andaja, etc. Different form of Shariram. Born through different form. Some are born directly, some are born through, some will take, that's not twice born. First egg is born, from the egg, the Stula Shariram comes. So, Jarayu, Jadi, Chaturvida Sharira Jatasya, Janmane Utpattaye, for the sake of the Utpatti, Janma of the Bhogayatanam. Vyadadikam Akashadi Pancha Bhuta, Akashadi Bhuta Panchakam, Vyadadikam, Vyata, etc. is equal to Akashadi Bhuta Panchakam, Pancha Mahabhutani, Bhuta Panchakam. Pratyekam, Ekam, Panchi Karoti. Each one divides into 5. What is it? Apanchikaranam? Apanchatmakam, that which is not fivefold, Panchatmakam Karoti. Panchatmakam, Sampadyamanam, Panchatmakam Karoti. That which is not fivefold is accomplished fivefold, made fivefold. Who? Bhagavan Karoti. Iti. So Bhagavan does the Panchikaranam process. Now, what is that Panchikaranam? The next shloka says. But before the next shloka, Panchikaranam, you can remember Panchikaranam process, what we saw in Tattvabodha. Tattvabodha Panchikaranam we have seen. Panchikaranam Katamiti Chet, if you remember. Etesham Panchamahabhutanam Tamasamsha Swarupam Ekam Bhutam Dvidha Vibhajya Ekam Ardham Pratak Tushtim Vyavasthapya Aparam Ardham Chaturda Vibhajya Swardham Vigneshu Ardeshu Swabhaga Chatushtaya Sanyojanam Karyam. That is Panchikaranam. I'll explain the chart and then we can see the shloka, you will understand. Now, Panchikaranam process. This we have seen in Tattvabodha itself. The same thing is explained just in a shloka. Now, Stula Akasha creation. Akasha, now it is in Sukshma Rupam. Now, from Sukshma Akasha, Stula Akasha is going to be born. How? Like that we will take for each element. Akasha, it is there. Now it is divided into two. Akasha gets divided into two. So, Dvida Vibhajya, dividing into two. Pratyekam, ekam, ekam, pratamam, Dvida Vibhajya. First, each one of them, it is divided into two. Then, according to the Tattvabodha, ekam, ekam, ardham, pratak tushtyam vyavastapya. One part, one half is kept aside. Don't disturb that. Here we can take the blue color, we can keep it aside. Now the green color, that is 50, another 50%. That Chaturda Vibhajya, that is divided into four. So Sukshma Akasha, first it is divided into two, and one part is kept separately. The other part is Chaturda Vibhajya, divided into four. Divided into four means this is Akasha 50%, that is half. 1/2. 1/2 divided by 4. It become each one will become 1/8. So half is one Akasha, another half is consisting of 4 1/8. 4 parts of 1/8. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. 4. Chaturda Vibhajya. This is Akasha. Similarly, Vayuhu. Vayuhu api. First, it is Dvida Vibhajya. Anantaram ekam mardam tushtim vyavastapya. Anantaram aparam mardam. The other part is Chaturda Vibhajya, divided into four. The other half is divided into four. It means four is each one will be 1/8. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Vayu. This is Vayu. Similarly for Agni. Pratamam Dvida Vibhajya. Anantaram ekam mardam tushtim vyavastapya. Every time you have to tell this. Then aparam mardam Chaturda Vibhajya. Tadvateva apaha, tadvateva prithvi. Therefore, ek pratyekam, ekam, ekam, each one of the Panchamahabhuta. Vida Vibhajya, ekam mardam tushtim vyavastapya, aparam mardam Chaturda Vibhajya. The other half is divided into four, 1/8. So now, therefore, now the other half, first one half is kept aside, that will be there. That Akasha will have that one half of its property, its guna. The other half, what happens, divided into four parts, 12.5% or 1/8. This is what Chaturda Vibhajya. Aparamardam Chaturda Vibhajya. Tadvat Akashaha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. Ekam Ekam, Aparamardam Chaturda Vibhajya, divided into four. Now what will happen? Chaturda Vibhajya. Swa Ardham, Binneshu Ardeshu, Swabhava Chatushtaya Sanyojanam. One, what will happen? It will share the other half, which is divided into four, with the other elements. Binneshu Ardeshu. It is shared with the other half of the other elements. Therefore, what will happen? Akasha will have 50% of its guna, which is predominance, because of it only it's called Akasha. Because the Akasha is of 50%. Therefore, Akasha as the guna. The Akasha guna is there. Because that it is 50%, it is more than the other elements, which are also, other elements are also included. That is other half is shared with the other elements, and therefore from the other elements Akasha will get the other four elements, like Prithvi, Apaha, Agnihi, Vayu. Each will is contributed by the other elements. So from the Prithvi, 12.5% it gets, and Akasha will give 12.5% to Prithvi. Similarly, from Apaha, Akasha gets 12.5%, that is 1/8, and Akasha will give its part to 1/8 to Apaha. Similarly, Agni, from Agni it takes 1/8, and Akasha will give its 1/8, 12.5% of its to Agni. Similarly, Vayu also. So sharing 12.5%, that is 1/8 with the other elements. So Swardam Bhinneshu Ardeshu Swabhaga Chatushtayam. Now Chatushtayam, now the other half, which is consists of 4, that is Prithvi, Apaha, Agnihi, Vayuhu, each one 12.5% of the other elements. And now Sanyojanam of this, now Akasha as 50% of its share, its own guna, property, Akasha, 50% it retains from other 4 elements, it gets 12.5%, 1/8. So therefore, now this process is called compounding process. By this process, Akasha, which was Sukshma, it becomes Stula. Now this is a Stula Akasha. So therefore only in all the Stulam, all the Sukshma elements are present. Akasha has got Prithvi. Akasha, space has got Prithvi. Space has got water. Space means gross. Stula Akasha. Akasha has got Agni. Akasha has got Vayu. These are there in the Stula Akasha. You may wonder how it is. It is Shastram says, or what the Shastram says, this is a model. So we need not, it's not scientific. So another important thing. Here the Shastram proposes a model to explain the creation. But Srishti is not the Tatparyam of the Shastram. Shastram is not interested in establishing the creation. In fact, Shastram says Srishti is Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. Jagat is Ishvaraha, it is Mithya. Then why should talk about creation? Because as a Mumukshu, Jignasu, we want to know the cause of Jagat. Jagat is a Jiva, from where Jivas have come, how Jivas experience Karma Pala, who has created this. All these questions are there. Therefore, for the sake of the Mumukshus, because they all have these questions, and these questions have to be answered, without which they cannot progress further. Therefore, the Srishti has to be explained. Jagat has to be explained. But if you see, even though this Srishti is explained, which is not the Tatparyam, but if you see the beginning, what is the beginning? Beginning is Maya Sagita Brahmanaha. From the Maya Sagita Brahmanaha, from the Brahma, which is with Maya, only Akasha Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi, Etani, Panchamahabhutani, Utpannani. So it's all the way, it is Brahma only. Now that Brahma alone, Brahma Akasha is divided into 2. Brahma Akasha retains its half. Brahma Akasha shares its 1/8 to the other elements and takes 1/8 of other elements. What? Brahma Akasha. All the way it is Brahma only. Therefore, when we say Akasha is Brahma. Prithvi is Brahma. Vayu is Brahma. Agni is Brahma. Everything is Brahma. Brahma is not any of them, but everything is Brahma. So that is what the Shruti wants to arrive at. So therefore, in the process, it explains the creation. But creation is not the Tatparyam. Here we talk about Panchikaranam. In some other place in the Shastram, Chandogya, it talks about Trivitkaranam. Only 3 elements are there. There is no Akasha, there is no Vayu. So therefore, Tatparyam is not in explaining the Srishti as it is. It is that science will do. If at all science is possible, science can do. By science, if it is possible, the science will do. That is not the Tatparyam of this Shastram. So Srishti Prakaranam is to explain and then dismissing, because we are going to dismiss ultimately. All these are Adhyastam, Adhyaropitam on Brahma. After that, we are going to dismiss all these things and show that it is Brahma all the way. That will come later. Adhyaropa. This is what we're doing is Adhyaropa. Apavada will come later. Adhyaropa, Apavadabhyam, Nishprapancham Prapanchate. This is a model, this is a Prakriya, Adhyaropa, Apavada Prakriya. By this Prakriya only, the Shastram the Shastram, it presents this Jagat is Brahma. This Jagat is Nitya, it is not different from Brahma iti. So, Adhyaropa Apavara. Now, what we are doing is Adhyaropa. For us, all these are real. If it is real, then it has to be explained. Finally, it will take us to Brahma, that is done by Apavada. So, Adhyaropa is being done. Adhyaropa is in keeping with the thinking of the Mumukshu. Mumukshu comes with lot of ideas. He has already preconceived opinion about himself, the Jagat, and the things of the world. Therefore, to him, we have to explain. How do you explain? We have to go along with his thinking and finally showing that everything is mithya. That is called apavada. That is a prakriya. That is a method, beautiful method the Shastra adopts. In the beginning itself, if the question of the questioner is nipped, what will happen? The questioner will never come to the class again. He will never come to the teacher again. So therefore, the Shastram, the teacher, goes along with the student and explains the Srishti. Even though Shastram, here the Granthakaraha, he elaborates the purpose is Vivekam. That we have to remember. Should not forget. This is Viveka Prakaranam. Finally, we will say this Akasha, etc. All these are Anatma. This is not Atma. This is not Atma. With this Shariram, which is composed of, which is made of these 5 elements, it is Anatma. But what am I done? Aham Atma, this Sharirat Binnaha. So Anatma is that Viveka, understanding, discerning the difference between Atma and Anatma. That is the intention, that is the topic. That is the Tatparya of this chapter. So in this chapter, since we have to talk about the Shariram, which is Anatma, whether at the level of Stula, Sukshma or Karana, all the Shariram have to be explained. That is why the author explains here. So that is the intention. So this you have to remember. So you cannot ask whether this can be proved scientifically. This is a model. That's why I said this is not the Tatparyam of the Shastram. This is a model presented by the Shastram. Akasha, how does it, was it a Sukshma and it became Stula? Can be proved by science? Maybe science can do. It is the area of science, not that of the Shastra. Shastram presents just a model. So here in this Srishti Prakaranam, Shruti has got no interest. It just presents. It just presents a model. That is why Shruti itself changes its language. Here it talks about Panchikaranam. In some other place, Trivatkaranam. Therefore, the question comes: are there bhutas, the bhutani, Pancha or Trini? Is it Pancha Mahabhutani or Trini? Or Trini Bhutani eva? Why the difference is? Because the intention of the Shruti is not to establish the creation. That is not the Tatparyam of the Shastra. So whether it is of 5 elements or 3 elements, what does it matter to Shastram? That is the thing. You have to remember this. So now coming back to the Srishti, Stula Srishti, at the level of total as well as the individual. Now the Stula Akasha being formed, how 50% of its element with 1/8 of other elements, other 4 elements. That combination gives rise to Stula Akasha. Similarly, Vayu, 1/2 of its own element with 1/8 of the other 4. Vayu 50% is Sukshma. Prithvi 12.5% is Sukshma. Apaha 12.5% is Sukshma. Agni 12 Sukshma. Akasha Sukshma. All this Sukshma combined, the combination gives rise to Sukshma. What Sukshma? It is Sukshma Prithvi. No, it's called Sukshma. It is Stula Vayu. Is it Stula Prithvi, Stula Apaha, Stula Agni? No, it is Stula Vayu, because Vayu element is dominant. Because of the predominance of the Vayu element, this is Stula Vayu. Similarly, Stula Akasha, Stula Vayu, Stula Agni. Because of Agni element being dominant, Therefore, it is Stula Agnihi. Individually, they are Sukshma, but combined together, put together, they become Stula Agnihi. This is what is Agni, what you see, and it has got Rupam, it has got Varnam, color, shape, and available for Pratyaksha Pramanam. From here only, these are the Murta Prapancha. Akasha and Vayu, Amurta Bhutani. And Agni from here only takes a form. Murta Bhutani. Agnihi. Then Apaha is Stula Apaha. Combination of 50% of Sukshma Apa with 1/8 of the other Sukshma elements gives rise to Stula Apaha. Tadvateva Stula Prithvi. This is how the Panchikaranam process is accomplished by Bhagavan Karoti, and that is what is explained in the next shloka. I will read and explain. Let us read the next shloka. Vidha vidhaya chaikaikum.
Vidha vidhaya chaikaikum.
Chaturtha prathamam punaha.
चतुर्था प्रथमं पुनः
Swasvetarad shaihi. Janat pancha panchate.
Yojanat
Pancha panchate.
Yojanat pancha panchate.
Where is Janat? Yojanam. Has to be joined. Then only Yojanat. Okay. So what I explained now, the same thing in the form of a shloka. As we saw in Tattvabodha in the form of Gadya, here in the form of Padya, the verse form. So Ekaikam vidhaya chaikaikum. What is chaikaikum? Cha plus eka, all Vriddhi Sandhi. Ekaikam vidhaya. Pratamam, each element is divided into two parts first. Then punaha chaturda vidhaya to be connected to vidhaya chaturda vidhaya dividing. Ekaikam vidhaya pratamam. Anantaram, that anya bhaga is the second part, that is chaturda vidhaya. So each element is divided into two parts. Ekaikam prati. Ekaikam. It is Avibhava Samasa. Ekam. Bodham prati bodham. Dinam prati dinam. Avibhava Samasa. We can't decline that. That is Ekaikam. Pratyaham. Agha prati. Pratyaham. Daily. Here ekam, individually, each. The first part of each element, then what will happen? Pratamam. Okay. He says Pratamam. Can take first part. Pratamam. Chaturda vidhaya. So, ekam vidhaya. Anantaram. The Pratama, the first part. Pratamam, bhagam, part is Chaturda vidhaya. Punaha Chaturda vidhaya. Again divided into four parts, equal parts. We have to supply equal parts. Vidhaya making into four. Then what happens? Swa itara dvitiyam shaihi yojanat pancha panchate te pancha pancha. Swa itara. Swa, its own. Itara dvitiyam shaihi. Itara is other one. Swa itara dvitiyam shaihi. The second part. That is each 1/8 of each element merges with the other element. Yojanat, merging. So 1/8 of Akasha merging with all the other elements. 1/8 of Vayu merging with all the other elements. Sukshma, all Sukshma. 1/8 of Agni with all the other elements. 1/8 of Apaha, Tadvateva, 1/8 of Prithvi. Merging with other elements, all the other elements. Similarly, all from the other elements. Similarly, for all the elements, similarly, see, when this happens, each one will get 1/8 of the other. So, Swasva itara dvitiyam shegi yojanat. Yojana, joining, merging, combining with the second half of each of its own element. Swaswa itara dvitiyamsheki yojana. Then what will happen? Then pancha panchate, they get compounded. Panchikritam. Pancha panchate is apanchikrita akasha becomes panchikrita akasha. Akasha, which was to sukshma, now it becomes stula akasha. Apanchikrita akasha becomes panchikrita akasha. Apanchikrita vayu becomes panchikrita vayu. Apanchikrita agnihi becomes panchikrita agnihi. Stula agnihi. So panchikrita agnihi means stula agni. Panchikrita vayu is stula vayu. Apanchikrita apaha becomes panchikrita apaha. Stula water, jalam, stula jalam. Apanchikrita, then Prithvi becomes Panchikrita Prithvi. So each one becomes Dvitiyamsheki Yojana. Pratamamsha divided into 4. Dvitiyamsheki, second part. Swasvaita Dvitiyamsheki Yojanat, joining, then they become Pancha Pancha. One half is kept aside, other with the other half. Swa itra dvitiyamsheki yojanat, te pancha pancha bhavati. Now, akasha, vayuhu, apaha, agnihi, apaha, they're all what? They're all really consist of the other elements. Space is not pure space, it is with the other elements. As tanmatra, you can call akasha as akasha. Now, this stula akasha, it is consists of other elements. Predominance of akasha is that is why it is called akasha, stula akasha, because of its predominance. So this combination makes it gross, stulam. Now, by grossification process, stula bhutani, stula panchamahabhutani becomes sukshma panchamahabhutani becomes stula bhutani. As I told, we are not interested in Panchamahabhuta or Panchikaranam or Sukshma. We are interested only in Brahma Chaitanya. Therefore, for that purpose, we have to interpret all these things. Therefore, from the created now, Stula Panchamahabhuta, Jagat is going to be created. Jagat at the total and Stula Shariram at the individual level. So, once Stula is formed, there will be interaction between the Jiva and the Jagat. Jiva interacts with the Jagat and Karmapala exhaustion as well as new karmas are performed. Again, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janam iti samsaraha vartate. So let me read this and then we'll stop. Katam ekaikasya pancha panchatmakatvam iti aha. How each becomes five, that has been told here. It is the author tells, Grantakara aha, Dvida iti. Vyadadikam ekam ekaikam, Vyadadi ekaikam, Dvida tantrena ucharitaha Dvida shabdaha Vidaya krutva Bhagadvayopetam krutva ityartaha. So Vyadadikam ekam Dvida iti Vida Shabdaha Vidhaya. Vida Shabdaha, it is divided, it's a done, it is a process, it is done, divided into two. Vidaya is equal to Krutva, having done. Therefore, Bhagadvaya Upetam Krutva, divided into two parts. Bhagadvayam Upetam Krutva ityartha. That is the meaning of the word Vidhaya. Punascha, Punarapi, Pratamam. That's not what is that. Punascha Punarapi Pratamam, whatever may be, that Anya Bhagam may be. Pratamam Bhagam Chaturda, that is Bhaga Chatushtaya Upetam. Chaturda is equal to Bhaga Chatushtaya Upetam. So Pratamam Bhagam, okay. Pratamam Bhagam Chaturda Bhaga Chatushtaya Upetam Vidhaya iti Anushajyate. You have to join the word Vidhaya with the Chaturda also. I told in the beginning, Vidaya, Chaturda Vidaya. You have to connect. Swasva itara Dvitiyamshehi स्वस्मात् इतरेषां, from its own, each one from its own. What will happen? Swasvaitara Chaturnam Bhutanam, four Bhutanam, Yaga Dvitiyah, Stulaha, Bhagaha, Tena Saha, Pratama Bhagamshanam, Chaturnam Madhye Ekaikasya Yojanat, Te Vyadhadeha, Pratyekam Panchatmakaha Bhavanti. So Chaturnam Bhutanam, that 1/4, that divided into 4, 1/4 of Yaga Dvitiyaha, the second part, Saha Dvitiyaha, then Stula Bhagaha, that divided into 4, Yaga, that combines with the other elements, then Tena Saha, Pratama Bhagamshanam, Chaturnam Madhye Ekaikasya Yojanat. The Pratama Amsha which is kept aside, with that the other four which comes from the other elements. Each element shares its 1/8 and gets in place the other 1/8. Therefore, Yojanat, Ekaikasya Yojanat, combining them, De Vyadadayaha, Akasha, etc. Pratyekam Panchapanchatmakaha Bhavanti. Each one will have Panchapanchatmakam. Each will have 5. 5 means each one will be having the other elements also, in addition to its own element, which is predominant. Other elements also it will be there. Therefore, Panchapanchatmakaha Bhavanti Ityarthaha. So we will stop here. This is the Panchikaranam in the form of a simple shloka. Next shloka we will continue next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद शरण जी.
धन्यवाद.